My dear students, be ready for poetry. In poetry, the name of the poem is La Belle Redemption's Mercy. This poem was composed by John Keats in 1819. The title of the poem means The Beautiful Lady Without Pity. It means Merciless Lady. The poem is ballad. The poem is a ballad. Ballad is a simple spirited poem in short stanza in which some popular story is geographical narrated. The story is a single incident which is treated in dramatic manner and personal way. Ballads were very popular during the Middle Age. The Ballad of Chevy Chase is a medieval ballad. The Romantic poets of 19th century revived the traditional ballad writing. The Rime of Ancient Mariner by S.T. Coleridge and La Belle Redemption's Mercy by John Keats are very good example for modern ballad. It is remarkable for its supernatural element, romantic atmosphere, and lucidity of expression. In the poem, the knight is Keats himself, and the beautiful lady is his wife Fanny Brownie. Here, the poet is telling about his personal story, and his wife name was Fanny Brownie. His wife did not love him perfectly, so the poet wanted to tell his sadness as a knight in front of the society. The essence of the poem lies in fact that love with strangers just based on their beauty. The knight described in the poem saw a beautiful lady and was caught hold on her beauty and lust that lady reflected upon him. But all was in vain because she was a false lady. She was a treacherous lady. She was a mischievous lady. The lady had captivated many kings, princes, and warriors earlier with the same tricks. And in the poem, the poet tells that while the lady took the knight in her secret cave, the knight dreamed a dream and got information that this lady is false lady like you. She had cheated so many princes, kings, and warriors, so not love that lady. It is summary of the poem, and the poem has used a metaphor. I see a lily on thy brow. It was the brief summary of the poem La Belle Redemption's Mercy. Now about the lines of the poem La Belle Redemption's Mercy. Be ready for the line of the poem. Here, in the first stanza of the poem, oh, what can ail the knight at arms, alone and pillily loitering? The stag has withered from the lake, and no bird sings. It is the first stanza of the poem. Here the poet tells that asking question to knight, while the knight is himself the poet. The knight was wandering in the side of a lake. That was the coldest lake. No one there. What can ail the ail means sorrow? While the knight is fully armed, dressed, in spite of this, the knight was alone. He was full of hopeless, and he was wandering here and there. Loitering means bhatakna, ghumna. The stag has withered from the lake, and no bird sings. Due to winter, all the grass near the lake has been withered, has been dried. Due to winter, there was no birds. Now in Hindi, इस स्टार्टिंग स्टेंजा में कवि प्रश्न पूछता है सरदार से कि आपके दुख का कारण क्या है, जबकि आप पूरी तरह से शूरवीर हैं, आप स्वस्थ ड्रेस में हैं, फिर भी ऐसा लगता है मानो आप किसी विशेष कष्ट से ग्रसित हैं। आपका चेहरा पीला पड़ गया है, आपके अंदर कोई जॉय नहीं है, उदास हैं, और जहाँ पर आप भटक रहे हैं, इधर उधर भ्रमण कर रहे हैं, उस झील के आसपास की पूरी घासें सूख गई हैं और वहाँ कोई भी चिड़िया नहीं है, गाना नहीं गाती हैं, नहीं आती हैं, क्योंकि वहाँ अधिक ठंड है। और ऐसे एटमॉस्फियर में आप क्यों भटक रहे हैं, आपके दुख का कारण क्या है। रेफरेंस: These lines have been taken from the poem La Belle Redemption's Mercy. It is a ballad composed by John Keats. Context: in this stanza, the poet asks the knight why he is wandering in such a bad weather. What is the reason about it? Explanation: the poet points out that the knight was loitering here and there in the side of the lake, full of sorrow. While the knight was fully dressed, no kinds of lackness in his garment, in his dress. He was wandering in deserted wasteland where the plant life dried, no bird is singing there. And he is full of hopeless and no kinds of joy and attraction. To see the face and figure of the knight, the poet is asking question: what is the reason about your sadness? Second stanza of the poem, once again. Oh, what can ail the knight at arms? So hazard and so woe gone. The squalor's granary is full, and the harvest's done. Ail means sorrow, dukh. Hazard means upset, अव्यवस्थित, दुख से भरा हुआ, अस्त व्यस्त, थका हुआ. ओ मीन्स भी दुख होता है, बिगान मीन्स बीता हुआ, एंशियंट टाइप ऑफ सारो. स्क्वेलर्स मीन्स गिलहरी का, ग्रीनरी मीन्स अन्न भंडार, हार्वेस्ट मीन्स फसल. दोबारा कभी पूछता है कि नाइट, आप सुसज्जित हो, अट्रैक्टिव हो देखने में, फिर भी आपके दुख का कारण क्या है? आप अत्यधिक थके हुए लग रहे हो. ऐसा लग रहा है कि मानो आपकी उदासी को देख करके लगता है कि बहुत प्राचीन, बहुत पुराना दुख से आप ग्रसित हैं. कोई आपको चोट लगी है आपके हृदय में, जबकि आपका जो इम्पोर्टेंट वर्क है उसी तरह से कंप्लीट है जिस तरह से गिलहरी बरसात आने से पहले अपने अन्न भंडार को वह सुसज्जित कर लेती है, भर लेती है. फसल की कटाई हो चुकी है, सब कुछ कंप्लीट है, कृषक अपनी फसलों के काट चुके हैं, इकट्ठा कर चुके हैं, सब कुछ ठीक है. लेकिन इस प्रकार से अस्त व्यस्त दिखाई दे रहे हो, इसका कारण क्या है? जबकि पूरा काम हो चुका है, सभी आराम एवं चैन से हैं, फिर भी तुम इतने अधिक दुखी दिखाई क्यों पड़ रहे हो? यह हिंदी में बता दिया आपको, ताकि आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम न हो. जो पढ़ाने का मेथड है ऐसा पढ़ाया जा रहा है कि आप इसको समझ सकें, पूरी तरह समझ लें, कहीं कोई भी वीकनेस न हो समझने में. रेफरेंस वही होगा, कॉन्टेक्स्ट वही होगा, व्याख्या आप ध्यान सुनिए. एक्सप्लेनेशन: द पोएट टेल्स दैट नाइट, व्हाट इज द रीजन ऑफ योर सैडनेस? यू आर सो अपसेट, your face is flushed due to ancient type of sorrow. you are tired, you are unhappy, and you are looking very lean and thin, you appear very miserable. The poet says that the stalk of the squirrel is completely full, and the farmer have also reaped their crops in easy way. Everyone is favorable, thus appears to be at comfort and at easy. However, the night looks very miserable. Everything is positive in outside, but what is negative inner side? It was a question for the poet to know. Just I have told you, all the story belong to the poet himself. The poet is expressing his hurt sorrow due to his wife. Third stanza. I see a lily on thy brow, with anguish moist and fever dew, and on thy cheeks a fading rose, fast withered too. I see a lily on thy brow. In the third stanza, in first line, there is a figure of speech metaphor. I see a lily on thy brow. यहाँ पर कंपेरिजन है. कवि कह रहा है आई मीन्स यहाँ हियर द पोएट, मैं आपके माथे पर फॉरहेड, दाई ब्रो मीन्स भौं, फॉरहेड एंड माथा के ऊपर लीली जैसा पसीनों के बूंदों को देखता हूँ. इतना आप अपसेट लग रहे हैं. एंग्विश मीन्स अत्यधिक मानसिक कष्ट. मॉइस्ट मीन्स पसीना. ड्यू मीन्स ओश. फेडिंग मीन्स सूखा हुआ, मुरझाया हुआ. फास्ट मीन्स तेज. विदर मतलब झड़ने वाला. बहुत क्लियर मीनिंग है पोएम की. यह डायलॉग पोएम है. कवि यहाँ पर कहता है कि मैं उस नाइट के माथे के ऊपर लीली जैसे पसीनों को बूंदों को देखता हूँ. ऐसा लग रहा है कि मानसिक रूप से सरदार थका हुआ है, परेशान है, इसलिए उसके ललाट पर ओसों की बूंदों जैसे पसीना दिखाई दे रहा है, क्योंकि वह मानसिक रूप से परेशान है और अस्त व्यस्त है. एंड ऑन दाई चीक्स फेडिंग रोज. उसका जो चेहरा है, पूरे चेहरे का आउटलुक है, वह देखने में ऐसा लगता है जैसे वह मुरझाया हुआ गुलाब हो. एकदम उदास है, चेहरे में रौनकता नहीं है, आकर्षण नहीं है. वह अत्यधिक निराश हुआ है और वह मुरझाया हुआ गुलाब ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत जल्द ही वह उसकी जो पंखुड़ियाँ हैं बिखरने वाली हैं. इट मीन्स वह अपने आप को तुरंत धराशायी करने वाला है दुखों से ग्रसित होकर के. तो इन दिस वे, इन द थर्ड स्टेंजा ऑफ द पोएम, द पोएट टेल्स दैट द नाइट इज फुल ऑफ sorrow. Mentally he was disturbed. There was great pain in his mental life. By this reason, there were moisturing on forehead of the night. That is not good symbol. His brow is very pale because anxiety can be seen on the knight's face. The knight is sweating and disturbed. On account of mental tension, his face is wet with sweat caused by the fever dew, and the color of the face is like a fading rose which was about to wither very fastly. In this way, the knight will gradually lose his freshness and beauty due to mentally sorrow, and the sorrow of the poet belonged to his wife. Here the poet is himself knight and a lady is his wife. Now in the fourth stanza of the poem, very easy poem, happily listen and try to follow the lines of the poem. I met a lady in the meads, full beautiful, a fairy child. Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. अब कवि डिस्क्राइब कर रहा है कि व्हाट इज द रीजन ऑफ द सैडनेस ऑफ द नाइट। सरदार के दुख का कारण क्या है, अब उसको ओपन कर रहा है। वंस आई मेट ए लेडी इन द मेड्स, मेड्स में चारागाह। एक बार मैं एक लेडी से मिला इस झील के आसपास में, फुल ब्यूटीफुल, सुंदरता से भरी हुई थी, एज ब्यूटीफुल एज फेरी चाइल्ड। हर हेयर वाज लॉन्ग, बहुत ईजी लाइन है। हर फीट वाज लाइट, लाइट में हल्का, उसके हेयर लॉन्ग थे, फीट हल्के थे। एंड हर आइज वर वाइल्ड, उसकी आंखें बड़ी बड़ी थी, मस्त मस्त आंखें थी। वाइल्ड मीन्स यहाँ पर जंगली, जंगली मीन्स अट्रैक्टिव, भड़कीली। In the fourth stanza of the poem, here the poet tells that the lady was full of beauty and graceful. With that lady the knight met. रेफरेंस वही होगा आपका, इसमें आप कॉन्टेक्स्ट चेंज कर सकते हैं। Here the poet tells about the beautiful lady and describes her physical attraction. In the fourth stanza of the poem, the poet tells that why he is sad. Once he met a lady in the side of this hill, this lake. The lady was full of beauty. It means most beautiful. She was like a fairy child. Fairy child is symbol of beauty. Her hair was long, her foot was light, her eyes were very attractive, captivating eyes. It was physical description of the lady. Seeing this lady, the knight wanted to love perfectly, but that was teacher's lady and she did not give respect the knight, so the knight is unhappy. Once again, the knight replies to the poet that he met a lady in the grassland. She was most beautiful. She looked like the daughter of fairy. She had long hair. She walked in graceful manner. Her eyes were full of love and emotional excitement. That was attraction of her physical personality. Now fifth stanza of the poem. I made a garland for her head, and bracelet too, and fragrant zone. She looked at me as she did love, and made sweet moan. I made a garland for her head. Garland means फूलों की माला. I made a garland for her head. उसके सिर के लिए, उसके लॉक ऑफ हेयर के लिए, बालों के जूड़ा के लिए वह गार्लैंड बनाया, रखा उसको देने के लिए. एंड ब्रासलेट टू एंड फ्रेग्रेंट जोन. ब्रासलेट मीन्स कंगन, ornament to wear in arms. Fragrance means जोन. फ्रेग्रेंट जोन मतलब कि जोन मीन्स होता है करधनी. फ्रेग्रेंट मीन्स सुगंधित, यानी सुगंधित करधनी बनाया. करधनी कमर में पहनी जाती है. मौन मीन्स आएँ भरना. मौन मीन्स आएँ भरना. यहाँ पर बहुत इजी पोएम है. आई मेड ए गार्लैंड फॉर हर हेड. हर हेड मीन्स क्या होता है? सिर होता है. सिर में क्या होता है? हेयर होता है. हेयर क्या होता है? बाल. वो स्टाइल होता है लॉक ऑफ हेयर, बालों का जूड़ा. सिस्टम होता है, लोग उसमें माला पहनते हैं, उसको गूंथते हैं. तो हियर द नाइट इज टेलिंग. नाइट इज हिमसेल्फ द पोएट. द पोएट इज टेलिंग एज ए नाइट that he made a garland, bracelet, and fragrant zone to give that lady when he met in the side of grassland. All these things the knight gave to that lady as a gift, as a proposal, by which she will love the knight. After receiving all these ornaments, she looked at the knight as she was loving, and she expressed her love desire for the knight. In this way, listen carefully. The knight tells that the poet. The knight tells the poet. Here is his doubt. The knight tells the poet or the poet tells the knight. Both knight and poet is one. कभी सरदार से करा है, सरदार कवि से करा है. दोनों कौन है? एक हैं. The poet tells that he made a garland of flowers as an ornament for the beautiful lady. Not only garland but also bracelet and fragrant zone for the lady. And after giving all these things to the lady received it and expressed her love feeling toward the knight. My dear students, write all these things in your notebook and explain last stanza of the poem, fifth stanza, I made a garland for her head. इसको आप होमवर्क के रूप में कर लेंगे फॉर प्रैक्टिस.